Your top stories this evening, sponsored by Corks, bringing value home. Arguments arise over paper committal proceedings in Mohammed's extradition case. From "we can work around it" to 100% committed, U.S. envoy shifts stance on Mohammed's extradition case. Another Guyanese awaiting extradition to the USA, remanded into police custody. Guyana projected to produce over 1.2 million barrels of oil by 2027. TNT Energy Minister vows partnership in the petroleum sector. And in sport, 3 Guyanese women named in West Indies squad for home series against Sri Lanka. First match set for Grenada on Friday. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Aletha Grant with the Thursday 19th February 2026 edition of the HGP Nightly News. In the news tonight, the issue of paper committal is now at the center of the ongoing legal showdown as legal counsel for Nazar and Azruddin Mohammed pushes back against that suggestion as their extradition battle intensify. Travis Chase reports.
Businessmen Nazar and Azruddin Mohammed returned to the Georgetown Magistrates Court on Wednesday morning as their high-stakes extradition matter resumed before Principal Magistrate Judy Latchman. But proceedings quickly shifted into a legal showdown over how the case should continue. At the heart of the dispute is a proposal by the prosecution to abandon the ongoing oral preliminary inquiry and instead proceed by way of paper committal. Attorney at law Cyan Dujon accused the prosecution of attempting to derail oral proceedings.
This is indisputable evidence that the prosecution is scattered now. They are trying to abort our efforts at cross-examination. They are trying to cancel the cross-examination process because they see where it is going. They see what we are unearthing, what is being revealed, and they probably well know what will be revealed soon.
The application, first raised by attorney at law Glenn Hanneman, came 4 months after the extradition hearings began and more than a month after the first witness took the stand. According to Dujon, shifting to paper committal would effectively strip the defense of its opportunity to question witnesses and interrogate the evidence presented in support of extradition.
And so they're asking the magistrate to stop taking oral evidence and only permit the papers to go into evidence and to make a decision on the papers. And their legal underpinning for this request is flawed, it is misconceived, and it would be an error of law.
However, Magistrate Latchman reminded the court that paper committal traditionally applies to indictable criminal offenses that proceed to trial in the High Court. The magistrate also underscored the role of cross-examination in testing evidence, pointedly asking whether justice is not ordinarily shaped through examination in chief, cross-examination, and re-examination. Senior counsel Roysdale Ford echoed similar sentiments.
In relation to the Criminal Law Offences Act, which basically deals with indictable offences, it contemplates ultimately a trial in the High Court in the local country, which is Guyana. In relation to the Fugitive Offenders Act, it contemplates a preliminary inquiry, and if a case is made out, for an extradition abroad.
The case has been adjourned to February 26. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News.
Meanwhile, United States Ambassador to Ghana Nicole Theriot has delivered an unequivocal message. Washington is 100% committed to securing the extradition of indicted businessman Nazar Mohammed and his son, embattled opposition leader Azruddin Mohammed. Here's that story.
We want to see this happen, and we want to see justice served, both for the Guyanese and the U.S. people.
That was United States Ambassador to Guyana Nicole Terrio's current hardline stance on Wednesday in the ongoing extradition proceedings against businessman Nazar Mohammed and his son embattled opposition leader Azadine Mohammed. Ambassador Terrio's utterances to the newsroom stands in stark contrast to her position just weeks ago, when she insisted that Guyana's democracy must function and that the United States could quote-unquote work around Mohammed's legal troubles. She, however, left no room for ambiguity.
The U.S. government does not spend tens of thousands of U.S. taxpayer dollars to request extradition if we're not serious.
Washington, the ambassador stated, is committed to secure the extradition of the indicted businessman.
I want to make it incredibly clear that the U.S. is 100% committed to seeing this through. It is incredibly important to us that these proceedings continue and that a decision is ultimately made.
Ambassador Terrio's words landed with unmistakable weight as the case continues its slow path through Guyana's courts. Yet, this forceful declaration marks a striking evolution from the ambassador's public statement just over a month ago.
We have to be respectful of the Guyanese judicial system, and the ball is in your court, as they say. And so we're content to wait and see what happens. I have every faith that things are going to proceed and the right decision will be made.
In January 2026, as the newly elected parliament faced pressure to formalize Azadine Mohammed's position as leader of the opposition, Terrio struck a notably different tone. She acknowledged that Mohammed's legal battle with the U.S. authorities quote-unquote complicates matters, but insisted that democratic continuity must take precedence. She outlined how the U.S. would manage the apparent contradiction between pursuing a man's extradition while simultaneously insisting he be elevated to high political office. Both men have been under U.S. scrutiny for years. In 2022, the Treasury Department's Office of Foreign Assets Control imposed sanctions on the pair, accusing them of involvement in public corruption, including alleged bribery linked to government officials. People's Progressive Party's May Thomas Toussaint was also sanctioned alongside the Mohammeds. In 2024, both were formally indicted in the United States on multiple financial crime charges, including allegations related to money laundering and tax evasion. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Travis Chase will now report that there was indeed another extradition request and that man will soon be on a paid flight bound for the United States of America.
A Guyanese man has been remanded to prison pending his extradition to the United States, a development that now raises fresh questions after the government had publicly denied receiving any new extradition requests from Washington. Ronley Floyd Bino appeared Thursday before Acting Chief Magistrate Faith Magusti, where he was committed to custody after indicating he would not challenge the application for his surrender. Bino is wanted in Ohio, where a federal grand jury indicted him on September 20, 2023 on charges of misuse of a social security number, aggravated identity theft, and 2 counts of bank fraud. The United States says Bino has a history of violence, weapons, drug use, and trafficking in drugs. His remand comes months after Minister of Foreign Affairs Hugh Todd denied that Guyana had received another extradition request from the United States. Yet, under cross-examination, in separate proceedings, Permanent Secretary Sharon Rupchand acknowledged that an additional request for a Guyanese national was received on November 25, 2025, though no name was disclosed at the time. The minister, however, later insisted that what was received was merely a supplemental package tied to an existing matter. With Bino now before the court and committed for extradition, the emergence of this case is likely to intensify scrutiny over the government's earlier denials and the true nature of the correspondence from U.S. authorities. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News.
The Guyana Teachers Union is demanding an urgent review of the 2026 senior promotion criteria, with its president, Coretta McDonald, warning that the new system severely devalues teaching experience and could block thousands of teachers from advancing in their careers. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
During a press conference on Thursday, President of the Guyana Teachers Union, Coretta McDonald, criticized the framework published by the Teaching Service Commission, saying it's unfair to shift the balance away from experience and was implemented without proper consultation with the union. Under the 2026 criteria, the GTU says teaching experience after attaining trained status is now weighed at 1 point for every 5 years of service. Previously, trained service attracted 2 points per year, and according to the union, a teacher with 15 years of trained service would have accumulated 30 experience points under the former system. Under the new model, that same period now yields just 3 points, a tenfold reduction in value. McDonald warned that the change is not a minor adjustment, but one with far-reaching implications for promotion, morale, and the stability of the education system. She stressed that reducing years of experience to such a low numerical value directly affects teachers' chances of advancement and undermines professional respect. McDonald also addressed concerns surrounding the preparation of the vacancy list, explaining that historically the GTU worked alongside the Ministry of Education to sanitize vacancy listings, as errors often resulted in schools being excluded. She noted, however, that the Teaching Service Commission has no role in determining the criteria or compiling the vacancy list.
We find it to be very provoking. They attempted this a few years ago, and if you remember, the Guyana Teachers Union took them to court. They're attempting the same thing again, where this year they went out there, set the criteria, put together the vacancy list, and sent that off to the Teaching Service Commission without any input from the teachers' representative.
The GTU president further revealed that since last year, the union has written repeatedly to the ministry's chief education officer requesting formal engagement on the issue, but the ministry has since been mute on those requests.
This criteria that is set out here, which is saying 1 point for 5 years, is directly an attack, let me put it that way, on our teachers, because it is preventing, it will prevent teachers, many teachers across this country, from being able to access or gain promotions, simply because we recognize the ministry is putting all of its weight on academics.
McDonald warned that placing disproportionate emphasis on academic qualifications alone would sideline many experienced educators and weaken school leadership.
When you look at the point system, it is saying 1 point for every 5 years, but then you have increased the points for if you have a bachelor's degree, if you have a master's degree. And so here what we are doing is pushing, because of the goal program, you are pushing teachers without experience to acquire senior administrative positions, which will create chaos in the system.
The GTU is now calling for immediate engagement with the ministry for a review of the experience point allocation and a transparent consultative approach to senior promotions moving forward. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Join us after the break. We have more news for you.
Celebrate with us at Courts. We have what you need at the biggest season sale. Save with great deals and huge savings on select items store-wide. Get unbeatable values on TVs, new arrivals in furniture. Save on select bedroom sets, large appliances, free gifts, and much more. Shop now, pay later. Get huge savings this season. Only at Courts. Bringing value home. Offers end February 28, 2026. Conditions apply.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where Lighton's and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc. powering your life with elegance, quality, and care.
Need to open a bank account? There's no time to make the drive to stand in line. Get ready. Opening an account with Republic On Board is easy from anywhere at any time, even while waiting for a food order. So you don't have to skip lunch. Republic On Board. Fast, easy, secure. Visit www.republiconboard.com to open your account today.
Welcome back. You with the HGP Nightly News. Guyana is projected to produce over 1.2 million barrels of oil by 2027. According to Minister of Natural Resources Vikram Barrett, Guyana has positioned itself as the energy hub for the Caribbean. Antonio Day explains.
Natural Resources Minister Vikram Barrett, during day 2 of the ongoing Ghana Energy Conference and Supply Chain Expo at the Marriott Hotel in Kingston, Georgetown, praised the rapid development in the country's oil and gas sector. Using Venezuela as a cautionary example, he contrasted its vast reserves but economic decline with Ghana's rapid progress, driven by sound leadership.
Venezuela has almost 300 billion barrels of oil in reserve. In Guyana, we have discovered today 11 billion barrels of oil. But yet, in a country with 300 billion barrels of oil, 7 million people have left that country over the last 3 to 4 years. The country with 11 billion barrels of oil is the fastest growing economy in the world.
According to the minister, effective sector management, characterized by transparency and accountability, has positioned Guyana as a world-class oil producer. The 2021 Natural Resources Fund ensures responsible sovereign wealth management with oversight and conditional withdrawals, Minister Barrett convinced. Collaboration with partners like ExxonMobil and its co-ventures, as well as international firms, are crucial to the development of the country's oil and gas sector, the minister noted. Over 1,200 local businesses are involved, and nearly 7,000 Guyanese are trained for skilled roles, supported by the new Ghana Technical Training College. Minister Barrett also encouraged confident engagement in Ghana's secure investment climate within its growing energy sector. Meanwhile, Dr. Rudolph Munilal, Minister of Energy of Trinidad and Tobago, also in attendance, highlighted key developments and collaborative efforts in the region's energy sector. He spoke about the planned restart of the refinery near San Fernando, which has been closed since 2018 due to unresolved economic reasons. The refinery is expected to process 150,000 barrels per day, sourcing significant supply from the southern Caribbean and neighboring countries. He emphasized the importance of collaboration with Suriname and Guyana to ensure that countries without abundant hydrocarbon resources benefit from regional energy developments.
We stand committed to work with governments of Guyana and Suriname in your petrochemical developments. We have 10 ammonia plants, 8 methanol plants, and 3 liquefied natural gas plants, which incidentally are currently operating below optimal capacity.
Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Meanwhile, ExxonMobil Guyana's President Alistair Rotteledge has committed to advancing the Berbice gas fuel industrial development to foster regional industrial growth and economic progress. Here again is Antonio Day.
In addition to gas to energy and the Wales development, our commitment and our energy is going behind developing a Berbice gas-fueled industrial development.
That was ExxonMobil Ghana's president, Alistair Rotteledge, making disclosure on day 2 of the Ghana Energy Conference and Supply Chain Expo at the Ghana Marriott Hotel in Georgetown. The company head says it is developing a gas master plan to integrate gas into Ghana's energy matrix and support industrial growth. Routledge also announced plans to submit environmental and project authorization requests for its second gas development within months.
We anticipate that in the coming weeks, the next couple of months, we will likely submit a request for authorization, an environmental authorization for the second gas project in the southeast part of the starboard block.
He highlighted the extraordinary progress made in Ghana's offshore oil and gas sector, marking it as one of the fastest and most successful developments in the global energy industry. The Yellowtail FPSO, which began production in August, has increased Ghana's oil output by 250,000 barrels per day, raising total production to over 900,000 barrels daily since the Liza field's discovery. This milestone highlights the fourth FPSO in Guyana and the success of the first three developments, Liza Phases 1 and 2, and Payara, enhanced by advanced 4D seismic imaging for reservoir monitoring. The Vreeden Hoop shore base in Ghana serves as a hub for assembling subsea components, supporting multiple concurrent installation campaigns, and fostering a robust local supply chain. ExxonMobil is also advancing projects like Hammerhead, Waro, Whiptail, and the Longtail FPSO, focusing on gas injection for complex retrograde gas reservoirs. Routledge highlighted the need for collaboration among ExxonMobil, the government, local businesses, and international partners to sustain growth. By 2030, Ghana targets 8 projects producing 1.7 million barrels per day. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
And still on the energy conference, HGP Nightly News on Wednesday caught up with several companies showcasing their products and services at the 5th hosting of the Guyana Energy Conference and Supply Chain Expo. Antonio Day was there and has the story.
The Guyana Energy Conference and Supply Chain Expo serve as a key platform for local and international companies to showcase innovative solutions for the energy sector. On day 3 of the ongoing expo, Nightly News visited several booths and will highlight crucial benefits of the sector, including advanced drilling technologies, renewable energy initiatives, and digital innovation for supply chain efficiency. Guyana Shore-Base Inc. Public Relations Manager Gomati Gangladin reminded that the company is preferred onshore support hub for local oil and gas operators.
Under this banner, we have Gisby, Munishwar Shipping, we have Harbor Tugs Guyana, we have Paragon Transport, and we have 7 Seas. Each of these companies offer different services. The name, as Munishwar Shipping implies, it deals with commercial shipping, customs brokerage, and all the associated services. In the shipping industry, Guyana Shore-Base, we are one of the largest, if not the largest shore-base provider here in Guyana.
Expro, a global energy services company with operations here, also provides innovative, sustainable well solutions focused on safety, data, and performance.
We have a total headcount of about 112 overall in country. Our nationalization rate is about 67%. So what that means essentially is that the amount of locals that we have hired, as opposed to non-nationals, the locals outweigh. So we're doing very well with the knowledge transfer and building the local capacity so that Guyanese are given the opportunities to work in this field.
Karpowership, a Turkish energy company who presented a plan to use natural gas from the Sabra block for electricity generation until the Wales Gas Energy Project is completed, was also present at the Ghana Energy Conference and Supply Chain Expo. Nightly News also engaged key organizations dedicated to the advancement of micro and medium-sized enterprises.
We are here today effectively to promote our business activity and effectively help local businesses understand the opportunities that they have available to them, and international companies assist them if they're looking to set up operations in the country.
Business support organization that assists companies in Guyana and Canada, whether they want to enter the Canadian market or the Guyanese market. We help you to identify trade and business opportunities. We also help you, some of it are listed here, we provide a community, we have capacity building.
The energy conference is where this all kicked off. And so far, we have seen most of these trade missions. We have done over about 50 trade missions already in the span since we would have launched. And we're seeing big, massive deals being signed across Suriname, Guyana, and just recently, with the involvement of Trinidad as well, we're playing a major role in ensuring that these trade delegations get a lot of these connections in Suriname and in Guyana as well.
Entities within the heavy-duty machinery and construction industries were also present at the expo. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Join us after the break. We have more news for you.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
Celebrate with us at Courts. We have what you need at the biggest season sale. Save with great deals and huge savings on select items store-wide. Get unbeatable values on TVs, new arrivals in furniture. Save on select bedroom sets, large appliances, free gifts, and much more. Shop now, pay later. Get huge savings this season. Only at Courts. Bringing value home. Offers end February 28th, 2026. Conditions apply.
Welcome back. You with the HGP Nightly News. Thanks for staying with us. The Buxton Falls Neighborhood Democratic Council has embarked on a cleanup exercise, removing structures and other encumbrances close to the public road that can potentially put drivers and commuters in danger. Marvin Cato reports.
The NDC is conducting an operation where we are removing all those illegal structures that are either presenting a traffic hazard or a haven for illegal activity.
That was Councillor Sureski Bascom of the Buxton Falls Neighborhood Democratic Council, who on Wednesday led a team in the demolition of illegal structures encumbering the roadway commencing in the Falls community on the east coast of Demerara. Bascom indicated that the NDC is actively engaging some of those persons affected to assist them in whatever way it can so that their livelihoods are not disrupted. He indicated that in some of those structures, there was a garbage pileup contributing to an insanitary environment.
It means that commuters and road users now would have had to venture all the way onto the highway to actually to continue their journey.
Bascom reminded that with the development of various housing schemes in the NDC, there will be an increase in traffic into the villages, and having encumbrances impeding the smooth traffic flow is a dangerous situation. The Ministry of Public Works has engaged in similar works across the country to ensure nothing impedes the vision of drivers and commuters on the roadway.
We have taken your information. We've asked them to come to the NDC, and we're going to connect them with all the necessary support groups that is needed.
The councilman reminded that the NDC's goal is not to displace those who are earning a living, but about safety across communities. The NDC is committed to assisting residents who ply their trade and were affected, and has sounded the alarm that more of these structures impeding traffic and contributing to an unsafe environment in the NDC will be removed. Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
The International Center for Rainforest Conservation and Development, IRCAMA, and the Guyana Tourism Authority have signed a memorandum of understanding to support tourism development in the Rupununi region. Here again is Marvin Cato.
The government of Guyana is leading the way in advancing tourism at the community level as Guyana continues to strengthen its reputation as a leading ecotourism destination. As a result, a memorandum of understanding was signed between the IRCAMA International Center for Rainforest Conservation and Development and the Guyana Tourism Authority. The MOU will provide for marketing, product development support, and capacity building in various tourism disciplines done through the establishment of a community tourism training institute at the IRCAMA River Lodge. Iokrama has been at the forefront of tourism development in North Rupununi by providing the link between Georgetown and the River Lodge at Kurpukari. Several former staff members of Iokrama's tourism operations have gone on to lead tourism initiatives in their own villages. CEO of Iokrama, Dane Gubin, speaking on the importance of this MOU, said he is pleased to have entered into this MOU with the Guyana Tourism Authority for the development of community tourism operations in the North Rupununi. He stressed that Guyana Tourism Authority is also committed to this effort. He reminded that Iokrama remains the only internationally certified area for recreational services in the region, a testament to the center's commitment to best practices in its operations. Director of the Guyana Tourism Authority, Cameron Bash, remarked that this Memorandum of Understanding marks an important step in deepening collaboration between the Guyana Tourism Authority and Iokrama. It reflects the shared commitment to sustainable tourism development that protects our natural heritage while creating meaningful opportunities for communities and visitors alike. By working together, they will continue to strengthen Destination Guyana's position as a global leader in nature-based tourism and conservation-focused travel. Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned for regional news.
Fruitopia, it's the drink that's hype. Citrus punch, fruit punch, tastes nice. Guava, pineapple, that give me a vibe. We no want nothing less compared to the rest. Fruitopia the best. Quench any thirst when it comes to the test. Perfect thing for my lunch. Flavors pack a punch. Fruitopia, Fruitopia, it's the drink that's hype. It's citrus punch, fruit punch, tastes nice. Fruitopia, the drink that rocks your lunchtime.
Interested in honoring or paying tribute to a loved one, or just making a loved one feel special? HGP TV offers you all that and more. Air your birthday greetings, death announcements, and wedding anniversaries on HGP TV today. HGP TV offers affordable prices, convenience, and great services. Call us on 220-3660 or email us at sales@hgptv.com.
Good evening and welcome to Thursday's edition of the Regional News. I'm Antonio Day. Here's what you need to know as we turn attention to news in Trinidad and Tobago. Police are investigating the death of 79-year-old Matadias Matura, a man who had previously survived a brutal home invasion after his body was found at Senior Days facility in the Abadi on Tuesday. Around noon, officers from the Maloney Police District, including, responded to a report of the death of the best senior daycare located at Masika Road. A nursing home attendant led officers to a room where Mathura was found lying on a bed. He was clad in a red t-shirt, blue shorts, and a diaper. Officers noted marks of violence on his upper chest, right hand, right hip, and both lower limbs. The attendant told police Mathura had last been seen alive around 11:40 a.m. The deceased's next of kin revealed that Mathura had lived alone and was severely beaten during a home invasion that took place between December 16 and 20, 2025. He was found on December 21 by his brother, gagged and with his hands and feet bound. He had suffered multiple injuries and trauma. Over to news in St. Kitts and Nevis. Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Terence Drew, has presented 2 checks totaling 15,000 EC to the Essence of Hope Breast Cancer Foundation and Reach for Recovery Breast Cancer Support Group. The donation is part of the administration's effort to support the fight against breast cancer. The donated sum comes from the proceeds of the Prime Minister's New Year Gala 2026, which was hosted on January 4. The Prime Minister announced the donation during the press conference which was hosted on February 17, 2026. And finally with international news. China sees an opening to turn President Donald Trump's tariffs to its advantage by reshaping global trade in its ways that would insulate its $19 trillion economy from U.S. pressure far into the future. Beijing is exploiting the uncertainty created by Trump to try to stitch China's vast manufacturing base into the world's biggest economic blocs, including the European Union, Gulf states, and Trans-Pacific Trade Pact, a Reuters examination found. The push aims to expedite 20-long negotiated trade deals despite concerns over China's overproduction and market access. China is now putting that blueprint into action. Still with international news, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, formerly known as Prince Andrew, has been arrested in Norfolk, England, on suspicion of misconduct in public office related to his dealings with Jeffrey Epstein. Detectives will interview him under caution as they determine whether to charge him, detain him overnight, or to take no further action. That has brought us to the end of Thursday's edition of the Regional News. I'm Antonio Date. Do have an enjoyable rest of the evening, and goodbye for now.
Let's now join Delwyn Neblet for HGP's Sports Pulse.
Good evening, Guyana. I'm Delwyn Neblet with your HGP TV Sports Pulse for today, Thursday, February 19, 2026. We begin tonight with athletics. Guyana's premier javelin thrower, Leslyn Beard, has officially set the stadium record for the men's javelin throw at the newly opened Bayrock National Stadium in Linden. Competing at the second 2026 Griffith Games trials last Saturday, Beard delivered a winning throw of 68.56 meters to secure victory in the open category. The Guyana Defence Force athlete mentioned that he intends to improve on the new Bayrock Stadium record as the season progresses. Leslyn Beard is also the holder of the stadium record in the men's javelin throw at the National Track and Field Center in Lenora with a distance of 77.23 meters. Moving into football, action took place in the Guyana Football Federation's 2026 Elite League Cup with two fixtures at the National Training Center in Providence on Wednesday. Match number 1 was a 1-0 victory for Santos FC over the Namsel FC as Shaquille King produced the decisive strike. In match number 2, Slingers FC secured a commanding 8-0 victory over Ansgrove United as both Darren Niles and Kimar Beckford delivered superb hat-tricks. Curtis Kelman and Rashawn Rich also netted goals in a winning effort. Moving into cricket, action took place in the Demerara Cricket Board's Inter-Association Under 1950 Overs tournament with Georgetown taking on East Bank at the Police Sports Club ground Ivlery on Wednesday. Batting first, East Bank were bowled out for just 38 in 19.2 overs as both player of the match, Emmanuel Lewis and Shane Prince, picked up 3 wickets in a winning effort. When Georgetown responded, they reached 45 for 2 off of 7.1 overs as West Indies Under 19 wicketkeeper batter Shamar Apple secured the 8-wicket victory with a maximum. Action will resume in the Demerara Cricket Board's Inter-Association Under 1950 Overs tournament with 2 fixtures on Friday. West Demerara go up against Upper Demerara at Metamere Zorg, while East Bank take on East Coast at the Police Sports Club ground Ivlery. More in cricket, 3 Guyanese players, Shemaine Campbell, Ashmini Munasar and Reliana Grimman, have retained their places in the West Indies senior women's side ahead of the upcoming domestic series against Sri Lanka. Commencing in Grenada on Friday, February 20th, the series features 3 ODIs and 3 T20 internationals concluding on March 3rd. Hayley Williams makes her return as captain following an extended period of absence due to injury as Chanel Henry replaces Shemaine Campbell as the vice captain. Finally, in cricket, action took place in the 2026 ICC Men's T20 World Cup with the West Indies taking on Italy at Eden Gardens in Calcutta earlier today. Batting first after being sent in, the Windies reached 165 for 6 of their allotment of 20 overs. Captain Shea Hope top scored with 75 as Sherfin Rutherford remained unbeaten on 24. Krishnan Kalugomage and Benjamin Menenti each picked up 2 wickets for Italy. When Italy responded, they were bowled out for just 123 in 18 overs. Shamar Joseph was the pick of the bowlers for the West Indies, taking 4 for 30 as Matthew Ford picked up 3 for 19 in a winning effort. That's it for this edition of the HGP TV Sports Pulse. I'm Delwyn Neblet reminding you to stay in the game.
Fresh arguments arise over paper committal proceedings in Mohammed's extradition case. From "we can work around it" to 100% committed, U.S. envoy shifts stance on Mohammed's extradition request. Another Guyanese awaiting extradition to the USA remanded into police custody. Guyana projected to produce over 1.2 million barrels of oil by 2027. TNT Energy Minister vows partnership in petroleum sector. And in sport, 3 Guyanese women named in West Indies squad for home series against Sri Lanka. First match set for Grenada on Friday. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Aletha Grant. Thanks for watching.